Hello, and welcome to another video. As you can see, today we'll be playing Mario Kart 64, which is of course a very good choice. What the hell is going on here with Boopin, man? Right, let me believe that it's gonna be okay. I think I'm on 50cc. I like playing with Yoshi, man. What the hell? Where's Yoshi? Okay. Let's see if this is looking good. Yeah, looks fine. And yeah, today we'll be talking about split screen gaming, boys. There we go. Of course, Mario Kart 64 is probably one of the best selections for a video like this, because everybody has good memories. If you had an N64, had a friend that had an N64, very high chance to play this a whole bunch. And oh, that was early. And today there will be a lot of stories, I think. Of course, I will do some more generic. Oh no, man! Come on, Peach. I gotta. All right. Right. New idea. We're gonna claw back to P1, pure pace, and then I'll save this for the final lap. Doing the mini turbos. There we go. So yeah, if you were alive and kicking in the 8-bit, 16-bit generations, that kind of era, then you probably have very good and very fond memories of just playing on the couch with your friends and going over someone's house, and people had different video games that they played. And that was a great time, man. That was a great time. And I kind of want to reminisce, because now that we have online gaming has its advantages, don't get me wrong, especially from the competitive side, if you're a competitive person. Like, if you're... What the hell happened with Bowser, man? Alright. Then, yeah, there's esports now, and there wasn't, at least not in such an organized fashion in the past, so I guess that's good. But we did lose quite a lot in translation, if you ask me. So I'll start with Mario Kart 64, since this is the one game that I'm playing right now. And this was the game that I played with my father. My father was never a big video game guy, so every time I'd ask him to play something with me, he would decline. But Mario Kart 64, he would make an exception, you know? I do recall he liked picking Luigi, if I recall correctly. And then just turning some laps with me. And this was way before, I think, the best console that came around to bridge the gap between people that are not too much into video games and they like actually giving it a chance, which was the Wii. I think that Wii, especially Wii Sports, of course, right, brought so many people into the mix. But this was before then, and the N64 controller, as you know, is a bit daunting. So you'd show that to a regular person that didn't play many games, and they would be like, you know what, I'm good, man. This controller has 3 prongs, what the hell is going on here? Now, I personally love the N64 controller, but I can definitely see that it's not the most user-friendly one. So yeah. Let me think. Another game that I have very fond memories of is GoldenEye 007, which I imagine a lot of people have as well. And that I play with my friends like pretty much every weekend, man. And we had these house rules, you know, so after you play the game enough times, we're kind of, you know what, man, let's try to mix it up a little bit. And so we would play with weapon restrictions, of course, no Oddjob, right? That's a given. I mean, imagine using Oddjob on an actual friendly match, kind of a scumbag behavior. But we had this mode that we used proximity mines, and it was the best, man. Like, we would just go to some corner. I do recall this happening in Bunker a lot. And then you just like pick up proximity mines and mine the whole place up, the entrance, everything, all the spawn points. And then people just try and invade, you know, and try and take you out. But of course, it was extremely difficult because you had this advantageous position. And I'm gonna spin AI. I am. Oh, come on! Ooh! That was close. What the hell? Let's see the time difference. That was insane. It was all acceleration. It was the exact same time, me and Mario, man. Wow. All right. Get fucked, I guess. And yeah, GoldenEye 007, this was another one that we played a lot. You'll see that I have lots of memories with the N64 specifically, because I played lots of multiplayer games with previous consoles, but it was quite rare for people to have a multi-tap, and so it was mostly one-on-one stuff like playing Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Super Mario Kart, that kind of game, you know. And so that's fine and all, but it's kind of hard to have like some greater memories with several people playing the same game, because it was mostly one-on-one stuff, you know. So it was kind of more run-of-the-mill stuff that you even today you can easily find. And I mean, most consoles today, or all of them, I don't know, but I suppose they have 4 controller ports, so I suppose you could technically still do it. But many games these days don't ship with split screen mode, so it's kind of my whole rant here, right? And so when the N64 came out, and it was the only console from the generation that had 4 controller ports by default, that was a huge thing, guys. If you're not aware, that was kind of a game changer. And so several of my memories here will involve the N64. Though the PlayStation, we also had quite some good times as well. A few select games. So let me think. The next game that I can think here that we had a lot of fun was Pokemon Stadium, especially Pokemon Stadium 2, the mini games. I do recall, for example, that Mr. Mime handball game or football game that each one is 4 on the side and just scoring goals, or the Scyther and Pinsir one where you try to cut the log on the precise time at the precise moment. And that was a great time. That was a great time. There was a Pokemon battling, of course, and most of us, we had our own Game Boys and we had transfer pack to bring our teams and all that. But that kind of paled in comparison to the minigames, man. The minigames were the real meat of the situation. And, well, what else? Oh, of course, Mario Party, right? I kind of regret playing Mario Party, if you ask me, because I for sure would have more controllers today if it was for that freaking game. So many minigames that you had to spin the stick around, man. They really didn't think about that one, I think. Mario 64 as well is another big culprit there with the Bowser spins. And yeah, a lot of plastic was ground down with those mini games. Not to mention the friendships that were, of course I'm joking, but yeah, it got pretty serious, man. You stealing a star from someone with like 2 rounds to go, dude. That was a serious offense, you know. Like you wouldn't just do that. And if anyone would do that, it could get ugly. It could get pretty ugly. Am I gonna make it? No. Come on. Man, this is gonna be rough. Donkey Kong. Oh my god. Alright. Well, you know, sometimes you just go to 6th place, I suppose. And the general theme of this video is that I have good memories with online games, especially WoW. I'll make an episode on WoW sometime in the future. And I have I think over 2,000 hours in WoW, something like that. Or Dota 2, or Dota 1 and Dota 2 as a whole. But Dota 2 especially, I have a lot of hours in that. And memories with my friends. But you know, it's not the same thing. You may say, well, it's because you were younger and then you played those online games when you were older. And yeah, there's a bit of that. Like, for sure, there is a bit of that. But The thing is that having someone by your side when you screw them over, it's just special, man. When you score a goal on your friend and it's like 45 minutes of the second half, and you take a gander at their face and you're like, man, you suck at this game. It's just, it's a beautiful thing, man. Or of course, destroying someone with a well-timed red shell over here, or especially a blue shell. That's a big one in Mario Kart, or the other games I mentioned, or especially stealing a star in Mario Party, man. That's a big one. Stealing a star on the closing rounds is like, whew, special moment. And online, man, you know, it's not the same thing. You can't throw the banter just as hard as you could on Discord or on Ventrilo or TeamSpeak, which we of course used back then. And yeah, I mean I quite like. Okay, she was kind of robbing me there. That pass could not happen. But alright, she somehow spawned on the banana peel and we got away with that. And that is the first championship on the books, guys. That's a perfect 36. I mean, it's 50cc, right? I mean, come on. Alright, let's watch this once, and then for the next ones we can just restart the game. Let's see what else I have written down here. Yeah, like my second point here, which is the isolation of online gaming is a big one, man. I don't know, perhaps I'm playing the wrong types of games, that is very possible. But it seems like most games that I get invited to play these days are also competitive, and that's... I don't know, when you... Especially if you're a competitive person, then you get on, let's say, Rocket League, or you get on Dota, and then your friend screws up, or you screw up, and then people are just throwing blame around a little bit, you know, it's not quite the same. It's not like anyone's gonna end the friendship over that, of course not, right? We're all grown-ups here. But it's a bit less playful, you know? And when I played... Well, I mean, I guess when I had the PS2, we did play a lot of... Oh wait, double hitting there. Let's do some Luigi now. Just to mix it up. Okay, turnpike. It's doing a double hit. Very weird. Yeah. Okay. Very weird. Especially in the menu, it's not working out, but in the game itself, it's fine. And yeah, like especially competitive games, I have mostly stopped playing them these days because it's just not a fun environment, you know? I mean, you can take it less seriously, of course, but still, losing online matches is never fun if you're on the losing end. Like imagine if you ever play Dota or League and you're there busting your ass for like a 30-minute match, a 40-minute match, and then you know it's coming to that, it's not looking good, you're losing lanes, you're losing towers, you're like, man, this is gonna suck, isn't it? And then, inevitably, you finally lose the match. And you're like, what the hell was I doing with my life for this past 40 minutes, man? Like, why do I even play the game? And, you know, it's what I'm saying is that it's hard for me to derive joy in losing matches in most competitive online games. Even Counter-Strike, I play Counter-Strike with some frequency, I'd say every 3 months or so when I get invited to it. And that's less bad because I'm not a big fan of playing competitive, so I just play like deathmatch and the more casual modes, arms race, and that's still fun. But there are a lot of people that are very good at Counter-Strike, and I can't say I'm one of them, at least not anymore. And so when you get destroyed by a guy that I'm not gonna say the guy is cheating, nothing like that. To just, you know, guy's good and I'm not good, and you're like, you know, this was Mario Kart. Would I get as mad? Not really. Mario Kart is a good example. I played a lot of Mario Kart Wii when I had the Wii, and in the online, and there was a whole rank there. But you know, I don't derive much joy from even winning the match. Like if I get into a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe there on the Switch on a match, and then I go ahead and win it, am I happy? Not really, you know. If it was the same thing but I beat my friends, oh boy, you better believe I was gonna be a lot happier. And there's a secondary argument that you can make. It's like, well, man, the thing is that everybody grew up, you grew up, and your friends, they don't live even in your hometown anymore or close to your house. And so it's not going to be possible to play in the same couch anymore. And that's true. I can definitely see that. And for that, online game is a good proxy. It's the best you can do out of the situation, right? So I guess fair enough. I won't dispute that. Of course, I wish it were possible for us to play more games, but I think that the games themselves that are being made these days, I don't know, man. Let me tell you, for example, arcade games, beat 'em ups, very repetitive genre. It's not often that I'll sit down and just, you know what, let's throw in some TMNT and just like waste the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes trying to beat this game. But when I did those gameplays via netplay with Kylera or Hamachi or that sort of stuff, man, it's always a good time. Because the game is just a pretext, really, for everybody just being online and talking. You know, that I think is the perfect game for you to play with your friends, especially if you are older, which is my case. You just want to catch up, you know? And I think that the game being more chill is actually the ideal scenario. So a game that I had some good fun playing multiplayer recently was Palworld. Because that's a game that has no pressure, man. Everybody just goes ahead and builds our bases and they just go ahead and like go capture some pals. That's about that. And nice. And that's that. Like you're just chatting on Discord these days, of course. And being halfway not even paying attention to the game. And that's the best time. Now, if you select a game that is way too competitive, like, as I mentioned, Rocket League or Counter-Strike or Dota or whatever, well, now you have to pay attention to the game. Because everybody wants to win, right? Nobody's going to be happy that they lost. And so, you know, the whole gathering loses a bit of its luster to me. And I think that games that were made in these older generations, either intentionally or accidentally, but I think intentionally due to the whole couch setting, they really lent themselves to being this just proxy for socialization. If you have seen any of my other videos, you probably have gathered that I am talking way better here and more fluently in Mario Kart than pretty much every previous video. Because, man, it's Mario Kart. Like, first of all, especially in 50cc, not the hardest game. Secondly, if I lose my position here, there'll probably be some item that will save my ass. It's like the last corners of the race. And so, you know, it's a very easy game for you to just check out and 50% pay attention to the game, and otherwise just cruise. Yeah? And so I think that is the perfect kind of game that you want for a gathering. And once again, those split screen games, and I didn't play Halo. I didn't have an Xbox. I was kind of checked out of console gaming by then, but I do hear a lot of people saying that Halo was this kind of experience, that people just sat down and had fun with their friends, and I can definitely 100% believe you. I kind of wish I had an Xbox and was into that, but at that point in time I had already moved to university and was doing other things. But if you are a bit younger and you have Halo as this reference of split screen gaming, couch gaming, then man, just transfer that experience to the games I'm mentioning here for the N64. This is the same idea, you know. And they try and do it these days with like, well, we're gonna have the new Halo, and it's gonna be just like the old ones. And well, is it nostalgia? I don't know, but it never feels the same, you know? Maybe it's because it's online, maybe it's because we're different now, or the whole landscape is different. Everybody's more competitive. There's a rank, you want to do well. But in any case, I'll have a video in the future about the whole competitive gaming situation. I think that esports, not gonna go as far as saying esports was a mistake, but you know, esports did suck a lot of fun out of games, and it has a very strong correlation with the topic of this video, in a sense. I guess if we could just, like, as a whole, take games less seriously, then we'll be better for it. Oh, come on, man. That was evil, Peach. Come on. This is not looking good for me. Get fucked, man. Come on. That was... How did I do that? Come on, Peach. Jesus Christ, man. Alright, now I'm mad, man. Now I am turbo mad. You're done, Peach. You are 100% done. There you go. So you see, man, imagine if Peach was like your buddy sitting next to you. Dude, this was... this would be quite a moment right now. I'm gonna finish this race and then I have another subject. Oh, actually, I want to go into another story. I just remembered another game that we used to play a lot, and I never thought when I bought the game that it would work for the multiplayer, but as it turns out, it was an amazing multiplayer game. And there we go. It's Conker's Bad Fur Day, man. Conker's Bad Fur Day. I bought it because, you know, it was this kind of mature game that had a lot of spoofs of contemporary movies of the time, like Saving Private Ryan or Matrix. And I mean, it's a fantastic game. If you never played Conker, there's the remade version, I think, for Xbox 360 or whatever, that looks a lot nicer. I didn't play that one, but I would imagine it should be similar to the original, right? So there's that. And on the multiplayer in that game, it was insanely fun, and I don't know what they did, but somehow they managed to make a very, very fun multiplayer game. And so I was the only one that had that cartridge from my group of friends. It was quite a rarish cartridge, I suppose, because it was on the tail end of the N64. And I don't recall if you needed the expansion pack, don't quote me on that, but in any case. And so I would take this cartridge to my friend's house in the weekends. They just sit there and play the kind of a deathmatch where you have a sniper rifle and that. Kind of a poor man's Counter-Strike, if you will, but with all the humor that you have in Conker, you know, and so that's what really makes the game there. And yeah, it was a great time. It was a great, great time. All these scenarios and situations coming from that. Good memories of this track as well. I told this in another video, but this was one of the tracks that they had in a competition in a mall that took part in. And yeah, I didn't win that competition, but I did pretty well. It was like I just randomly went into the mall and there was a lot of N64s set up. And then I found out on the spot that there was a competition for Mario Kart 64. Like, alright, I'm down. My mom wasn't quite as down because she didn't want to spend so much time at the mall on that day, but I guess, you know, they do stuff for the kids, right? And it was a good time. Let's see what else I have written down here. Oh yeah, oh, the barrier of entry. Like, this is so good. If you think back of most, if not all, the multiplayer games that focus on split screen and co-op gaming and couch co-op and all that, very many of them you'll see that they're easy games to learn. They may be hard to master, but they usually are very easy to learn and pick up and play. And that is paramount because you don't want to sit up with a friend that's not like that big into video games and then you show him this controller with, I'm counting here because I have the Switch controller in my in front of me, so 2, 4, 8. There's these two, so that's 10 buttons, 2 analogs, a D-pad, not to mention start, select, and the other things. So no, it's already like, what, 12, 14 buttons? And right here, well man, this one shoots, this one jumps, but if you have this key combination, then you can do all that. I mean, you know, if it's a person that is used to playing video games, then sure, they'll pick it up, it's fine. Like if you play lots of games, you know that you can pretty much instantly pick up most any game you try playing. But if it's someone that's casual, man, that's not gonna happen, right? And now, this game right here that I'm playing, Mario Kart 64, you can just put the controller in their hands and you say, well, A, in the case of the N64 controller, right? I'm looking at it right now. So A accelerates, you turn the car on the analog, and you press Z to throw the items. That's it. You maybe can go into the drifting, but probably not. And then let's do some Mario now. And that's that, you know, and they do pretty well. And with the more recent Mario Karts, they're really good in that regard, of course. So there's even the help for turning and accelerating, which is really good for kids, especially if you're playing with like 5-year-old or something like that, and they don't have the conception of a car, and then they can have fun. And they're just like turning the Wiimote or the Joy-Con or the remote, even if you're talking about Mario Kart Wii. This is one of my favorite tracks, even though it's so boring. I like it that it's kind of a real track, you know. It's very long. The lap time, I like that. It's one of the reasons I like Mario Kart 64 a lot in terms of Mario Karts. I like the long lap times. But yeah, and so they're playing, man. Maybe GoldenEye, not a good example, but like Mario Party, and Nintendo is excellent with that, right? Of course. And I can't recall that many Sega games that I played multiplayer in my Genesis. I mean, Road Rash was a big one. I like Road Rash a ton. But yeah, I'd have to sit down and think a little bit, because I play that mostly solo. Even fighting games, man. Fighting games are very technical, and if you play with someone that knows what they're doing, you're probably gonna lose. But if everyone's a scrub and you just like press random buttons and stuff happens, and that's fun enough, yeah. So yeah, the accessibility of split screen games is a big one. And there's a reason why you see games that in recent memory, like Among Us, for example, did so well, is because it's a simple game in conception. Like you just walk around, you do very simple tasks, like mobile game level tasks, and then you talk with people. So yeah, everybody can play that. That's good. Fall Guys, another one that same idea, right? Very fun games. I feel like console games these days, and even Nintendo is not exempt of that. They focus too much on the core audience sometimes, which is why I absolutely love the Wii, man. Don't get me wrong, I do play some quote-unquote hardcore games. Like I'll talk about Dark Souls in a future video, for example, and there's a whole speedrunning aspect and all that. But man, the Wii was truly a great console. Just today, I have a more recent story that I can tell, which is incidental to this video, and halfway the reason that I'm making this. I had the Wii moved from my office here. I used the Wii to do OT and Majora's Mask randomizers using the Virtual Console, installing the WADs and all that. It's one of the fastest ways to play the game. But I'm not doing much randomizer play anymore, especially competitively. And so I moved the Wii to my living room with the OSSC, and I'm outputting the HDMI to the regular TV. Plus I can play the GameCube games as well, which is kind of nice because there's quite a lot of backlog that I have in the GameCube that I want to go through. But I have been teaching my kids to play Wii Sports, general sports in there. Like my son absolutely loves the tennis game and golf as well, those two. My daughter is starting to learn to play the tennis game, but he's a bit young, so it'll be a while still. And yeah, we're just there playing tennis as per usual. And then my father-in-law, he's an older guy, right? He's like 50 something. Never played video games, a very rural person, has a farm. Not a video game person, not even a computer person, anything. And he just sees me playing tennis with him, like, hey, do you want to try? He's like, sure. And so I put the wrist strap on his hand because you have to be very careful with the wrist strap on the Wii. Many such accidents with very expensive TVs. And I'm like, all right, you just like throw the ball up and then you hit it with the controller. And if the ball comes to your right, you do a regular swing, and if it comes to your left, you do a backhand swing. So it took me all of 20 seconds to explain to him how the game works. I was like, all right, let's try it. And man, he was playing the game with my son. He's 5. So like my father-in-law, 50 something, and my son that's 5 years old, and they're there playing Wii Sports and having a great time. A great time. We played together for like 15, 20 minutes or something like that. Played the tennis game. They played the golf as well. And they would have played bowling, but he got a call and they had to leave. Like, how many games? You can't count in one hand, probably, games that you could just invite literally anyone that has negative experience with video games, which is the case of my father-in-law, and a literal child that, like, I mean, my son picks stuff up fast, but some games they're hard to learn, you know? And man, they're just playing. Like, instantly, the game is so intuitive that anyone, literally anyone, can pick it up. Another game that people like playing a lot when they come over is Just Dance on the Wii once again. And same thing, you just like put the controller and then you show them the person on the screen, copy their movement. End of explanation. People are playing. Another game I like very much. This one is, I have found it harder to find time. People that can commit a bit more time, but the WarioWare Smooth Moves game is one that I like a lot to play with more casual people. And I suppose I haven't played the Wario game on the Wii, on the Switch, so maybe it's good, I don't know, but I mean, I have the Wii, so I don't see much reason to buy the Switch one, to be honest with you. And another fantastic game. And once again, man, these are experiences that, I mean, you can be the hardcorest of games, or of gamers, man, but you can't discount these experiences, you know? So this video here about split screen gaming goes both for your mates that you played when you were a kid or on university or whatever, that they knew how to play games and you guys had fun on GoldenEye or Halo, but also your regular family, man, that, man, did I gap these guys this hard? Jesus Christ. Look at this. This is insane. When does the rubber banding start? And I'm Max Verstappen this guy's here really hard. And yeah, that was beautiful. I kind of want to see even the time gap here. Nice. Let's see, 218. Final lap there of 44. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's see. That was a 4-second gap, man. All right, very nice. Let's see what else I have written down here. Oh man, looking up your friend screens, that is a fun one depending on the game. So the game that I have the most memory of that is actually Star Fox 64. Now, Star Fox is the game that I played on the video immediately before this one. I didn't play that well, but I would say that out of all games that I played in the N64, I was probably the most competent in Star Fox. It was, let's say, harderish to beat me in Star Fox back in the day. And so everybody had their split screens, right? And just, you would inevitably look at your friend's screen and figure out what they were doing, or they were trying to plan, or where they were in the map. And then just try to sneak up on them. GoldenEye, another big one if you're trying to like camp someone. Kinda hard because well, they can absolutely see where you are, right? And you can say, well, that's not competitive. Yeah, that's kind of the point. It for sure is not competitive, and that's fine. Everybody's just having fun here, you know? And so being able to see your opponent's screen is something that, once again, more stories that you can have to tell and remember about the games that you played. Another game that I played a lot, this one co-op, was ToeJam and Earl, which I already played in the channel here as well. Like, this was a very nice one. And another one that I play with my kids quite frequently and they like a lot because it's an easy game, especially on the lower levels, and so you can just like walk around and explore, which is fun in itself, right? So that would be another recommendation here from me. Let's see what else I got here. Yeah, next thing I have here is the games that these days still have split screen and at least couch co-op, and one that I didn't play but I have heard great things is Overcooked. People have told me that it is a... Come on, man. It's a good game to play with your significant other. Right, so that's that for you, my man. Okay, we're in a kind of a bad spot here. Let's go. Come on, Toad. I kind of need alright, that'll do. Alright, the mini turbos here are saving my ass for sure. This like aesthetically, in terms of like track design, I absolutely love Royal Raceway. It's one of my favorite tracks. Alright, the star is gonna be safe for the final sector. We're gonna cut the chicane when it gets there, when we get there. And one of the reasons I'm a big Nintendo fan to this day, even though they have lots of questionable practices, especially with regards to emulation and everything, it's kind of hard to be a Nintendo fan sometimes. But what I'll never take away from them is that, dude, they make good games. They make good games, and they haven't, for the most part, lost the notion that gameplay is paramount when you're designing a game, which seems obvious, but I guess it's not that obvious judging from what some studios will do with our games, you know, especially the excessive focus on story in some cases. And so, you know, the only console I have these days is the Switch, and once the Switch 2 or whatever successor comes out, I will probably buy that. I didn't buy the Wii U because I don't know, man, they dropped the ball hard there, especially with the games that they released for the console. But come on, that I'm gonna have to dispute that. But aside from that, and the GameCube, I had pretty much every... Well, then I guess I can count them, right? So there's the Nintendo 64, and then the Wii, and now the Switch. I think that it seems like Nintendo, they make a good console, and then they get cocky, and then they're like, you know what, we can do whatever the hell we want, and then they screw up. And then the next console, they're like, guys, sorry, we fucked up. Here's the things that you guys like, and then they do well, and then they get cocky, and then it repeats. But to be fair, the N64 is not that big of a success commercially, right? But I mean, I like it, so that's good for me, I suppose. Okay, all right, that's fair. Now, let's just say that I'm a bit disconnected with the zeitgeist, the current zeitgeist of console gaming, but I understand that there's a lot of focus on, yeah, that's on me, on online gaming, right? And your PSNs and Xbox Game Passes and etc. You know, maybe there's split screen in some of them. I think the most recent modern game I bought is Forza Motorsport 8, which was quite the letdown, let me tell you. See you guys. It's been fun. Thinking if I should have saved this lightning, but you know, what's it gonna be? That was a self-fulfilling screw up for me. This track is legit hard. I think it's the only actually hard track in this game. At least for me. Especially in 150cc, like the kart is way too fast. For some corners here. But seems like we're gonna do a perfect clear once again. Yep, very nice. Now, what's not so good about split screen gaming? I can say that with the limitations on past consoles, especially in like hardware power, there were a lot of concessions that developers had to make, right? So in terms of resolution, character detail, complexity of the gameplay, even for example, Mario Kart 64 I'm playing here, vanilla you can't play Grand Prix with 4 players, which kind of sucks, you know? And I mean, fair enough. They had to cut a lot of corners because it was hard to do it then, but it would be nice to play with the Grand Prix with 4 players. Same thing if you play Star Fox 64 in multiplayer. She's barely playing with boxes at that point. Like, it's a very, very simple environment. GoldenEye, same thing. And if we move to the PlayStation, for example, actually, yeah, Gran Turismo is the one I was gonna mention. So Gran Turismo is another that we played sparingly, and once again there were concessions when you wanted to play with a friend. I do recall even the car number, right? I think the car count was up to max of 6, even in single player, up until the PS2. So there's that. To close it up here, let's do Toad. The Star Cup, or actually Special Cup. And that's all understandable stuff. I mean, these days we don't have that many concessions. So the thing that is kind of sad to see is that, like today, with the more powerful consoles that we have, maybe not the Switch, but the Xbox and the PS5, I mean, it would be kind of perfect for them to just like go all out and make the most amazing split screen games that you could barely lose anything, and the game would play just as well as it plays in single player and online and with split screen multiplayer. But I mean, developers just don't focus that much on split screen anymore. It's kind of a shame. I guess the expectation that you have a ranked mode and that you have online lobbies and that you have, I don't know, maybe voice chats and all that. That's a lot of stuff to develop. It's not easy to go about doing that. But then you lose, right? What you could have had with the split screen experience. It's not cool. Yeah. talking about comments, like what do you guys think of split screen gaming? Do you have some nice experiences? I was quite looking forward to making this video because it was kind of a story time video for me, you know. I just wanted to sit down, play a game that I like, which is this one, and just tell stories that I remember about playing older games with friends, sitting down on the couch or on the bedroom. Yeah, very lightweight competition, like Luigi, Mario, and Peach, like no heavy characters. All right, guess that's good since I'm Toad and all. Now Toad is super obnoxious with his voice, man. Like, I'm just picking Toad for the variety. Let me tell you, if it was down to me, I'd play Yoshi. Okay, that was okay. I'm completely. Why did I do that? Come on. I threw the race. I literally threw the race. God damn it. Can I save it? We'll see. Maybe I should have saved the... Luigi, you have no idea what's coming for you, my friend. Here we go. Seems when the red shell turns back and hits me. I'll have another video on arcade games. Maybe you're thinking, why did you touch as much on fighting games this time around? And don't worry, I will talk about them plenty. Also beat 'em ups, like those two genres, I think they have a very special place for me, but in the arcades, not as much in consoles. But let me not enter a topic of a future video. Lest we... I mean, I was gonna say run out of content, but to be honest with you, man, I was trying to go to sleep yesterday. I was like having difficulty sleeping. I was just thinking about stuff, work and all that. And then I started thinking about like video themes I wanted to... Peach, come on, man. Stop, please. This is so obnoxious. Stop talking, man. Come on. And then I was just thinking about video ideas that I wanted to make. And no joke, I came on the spot like 10 ideas as I was thinking about it, lying down. And then I was thinking to myself, all right, I guess I can run with this for quite a while still, because there's lots of stuff to talk about, man, as it turns out. I guess moving the channel in this direction was a nice call for me, because previously when I was doing either guides or more, especially more produced videos where I thought, well, more produced for my sense, right? But thinking about, well, I have to script out at least more stuff, and then I need to get footage or these images and all this and that. And then when it came time to make the video, like, man, I don't want to edit that. Come on, that's just too much. And so I'd given up on several video ideas because I don't like editing videos, to be honest here. And so once I freed my mind from that, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna turn on the camera and play a game and talk what I think, what comes to my mind at that point. I mean, is the video as good as it would be if I had a script? Probably not. Is the video as entertaining? Again, no. But, you know, this video exists, whereas the other ones don't exist. So I guess that's better, right? The video existing is for sure better. Imagine if this guy had a mushroom now, man. That would be quite the situation. And as I said on the AI video, I'll try and alternate subjects because I like making these gaming videos, but first of all, they are not as viewed as more general ones, which I guess makes sense because more general videos, like if you should have kids, that affects literally 100% of people. Whereas if you like split screen gaming or not, that's a lesser amount of, of persons. But this is not for the viewership, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm making the videos because I wanna make money with this, because that's not happening. That's fine. But it's nice for more people to see the videos, especially because of the interactions. Like, I like reading the comments, you know, and it encourages you to move forward. So if you see that people are commenting positively, like, all right, people like that, so I'll make more of that. So obviously, if the more general themes have a better reception, then I'll make more of them. But those videos are harder cognitively to make because I have to make more nuanced arguments. You know, I can't just like... Okay. I can just, like I'm doing here, just turn on the camera and start talking, because I mean, I have to have some actual arguments. I can just like tell stories as I'm doing here. This video can be old man yells at cloud, pretty much. But if I'm argumenting if you should or should not have kids, then I better have some actual reasons. Or what's the other one? The social media one. That one was another one that I knew was going to be a bit controversial. The first comment that has the most likes in there is very funny to me. The guy says YouTube is social media. It's not wrong, man. I mean, I'm telling you to delete social media. Here I am posting on YouTube, which is by definition social media. So I'm gonna fall. Why did I do it, man? Why? I threw the race. Come on. It's all good. Next track is Rainbow Road. We're good. Yeah, that was inevitable. I knew the cart was going there. Okay, I just want 4th, so I don't have to repeat the race, man. Please, I just want 4th. Okay, thanks, Donkey. That's good. Bowser. It's not gonna happen, is it? It's not. It's 3rd, alright. 3rd's good. And then the guy drops YouTube is social media on me. And I'm like, well, you know, guess I'll delete the video now. But for the most part, the comments have been very cool. Well, there are some comments. I'll make a video on comments as well. I'll do a best of and talk about what I like the most and dislike the most in the future. But I'll wait a bit. But there are some people that comment on the video just to get a reaction, I suppose. There was one. What was it? It was on the, I think, the having kids video, or the social media one or the other. And then the comment is just the person saying why. I mean, it's a 50-minute video where I explain pretty extensively why. I suppose that's just like someone posting a comment on the first minute of the video and then closing it, right? Which happens. I see these YouTube videos where the author goes, hey, I know that you're gonna go to the comments and post that right now, but don't do that just yet because such and such. And I'm here thinking, man, do people actually do that? I don't comment much on videos, if at all, for the most part. But if I did more, I mean, I think I would wait for the video to finish and then I like formulate my opinion, and then alright, this is what I think, and then I'll comment now, you know, with a complete view of what the person said. But I guess not. I guess I could just comment after seeing a minute of video. That's fine shit. And it's not to say that I'm annoyed, it's just like it's interesting to me. Like, well, okay. That's fair. I guess another reason that I'm making these videos now that I am want to say older because I have been making videos since I was, what, 25 or so? I was already plenty old enough, but I guess I cared more about reception in the past, especially when I used to stream on Twitch. I got kind of bummed sometimes, you know, when you go online. I don't know if you ever streamed. If you go online, you see, well, there's like 3 people online. You're like, well, what's the point, man? Or even less. You lose the energy to comment and talk as much because you see, well, nobody's watching, like, whatever. Now, here on YouTube is very different, and I like the atmosphere here because I have no idea how many people are going to watch this video. Could be 10, could be 20, could be 0, could be 1,000. And so, like, I don't have any idea of what's gonna happen. So you're just putting yourself out there, you know? And so you just keep talking. I just keep talking because I don't have this immediate negative or I think that this was me. Or positive feedback on what I'm doing right now. Like if I could see right now that this video is gonna have 5 views, I'd probably talk less, you know? Or like, well, what's the point? Nobody's gonna watch it. Whereas if I saw that the video right now had 1 million views, I'd be like, wow, people are gonna watch this a lot, so I'm gonna just do my best effort here. But then I'd be betraying myself, you know, I wouldn't be genuine because I would tailor my reaction or even my effort level depending on the outcome of what I get. Some people think this track is very boring. I absolutely love this version of Rainbow Road. It's probably my favorite Rainbow Road, believe it or not. Because this is kind of like, to me, driving on an empty road at night. But when you pick your car, like, man, I'm just gonna think about stuff. You turn it on. What the? Okay. That started me. And then you just get in your car, turn it on, and start driving late at night. Some very synthwave experience for you there. Just night drive, and just think about stuff. I used to do a lot of that when I lived in Brazil's capital, Brasilia. Sometimes I just get in the car like midnight, drive until it was 2 a.m. and get back home. It was the best thing, man. I just like be with myself and my thoughts, you know. And this track here is kind of that experience. The track is so easy. There's this change up here that comes every so often, but at least in 50cc you can see him well in advance, so it's hard to get hit. Otherwise, you're just looking at space, man. You're just big chilling. Oh, I say that I almost got hit there. So yeah, that's why I really like this Rainbow Road. But that was a bit excessive. If you're wondering why I'm not saying anything, I just wanted to listen to the music. Hopefully you do too. I think what I like about this Mario Kart specifically, I think it's the most, even if you can say that, like the most simulator of a Mario Kart. I mean, in the sense that the tracks are more realistic and they're longer. And it's a less hyper game, you know. There's not that many crazy items. Man, Peach is really close. So yeah. Yes, it's Mario Kart Wii is one that I like a lot as well, but that's like very frantic, especially if you're on a bike. Then you have to keep doing the wheelies and everything, and that's a lot of work, man. That was a 6-minute race, man. Imagine that. Perfect. And yeah, that was that. Those were the 450cc trophies in the books, and also this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it, and I'll be back next time with some more stuff for you. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and let's just watch the fish drop the trophy one last time before we go. Bye bye.